Good evening, Board Chair, Board members, Superintendent. Thank you for this opportunity to address the Board. My name is Rick Markford, Principal of JD Floyd K-8 School of Environmental Science, and I'm here to talk about our facilities and technology needs. Along with the $4.7 million you heard about earlier today for roofs, HVAC, and lighting, I'll tell you a few more of the specifics that we need. If you've been able to pull up those pictures, I want to draw your attention to three that I labeled Elementary Playground 1, 2, and 3. Those show what I guesstimate to be about 50% of our grass playground as just sand. Our children play on this and come in off the playground, and I'll mention what that does to our facility later. We are constantly cutting roots and even removing communication wires that come up because of the exposed or the loss of the grass and sand. The kindergarten playground also has the first grade going to it. It also, you'll see it on there, K Playground 1 and 2 as an example of how that field looks. My estimates for resodding of about 60,000 square feet of fields would be about $22,500 with an additional requirement to refurbish the sprinkler system at about $20,000. The sand brought in with those little shoes each day does a tremendous amount of damage to our floors. It's like sandpaper on those hard floors, and the carpeting, it's even worse. We are familiar with, most of you are familiar with the cost of flooring, so let me just go on and talk about the wear and tear of equipment on the vacuums and floor scrubber Mr. Griff just mentioned. Let me draw your attention to VAC 1, VAC 2, and the abbreviation of Frank Lab 1 and Frank 2. Frank is short for Frankenstein. We've heard the term cannibalizing, some previous staff. My staff is kind of proud about putting pieces together and creating a little Frankenstein vacuum cleaners and other equipment by putting together those parts. If you look closely, you'll see hoses that have been taped together, casings that have been taped together, and lower units that are again connected by the tube and duct tape. My cost estimates to replace these Frankensteins would be approximately about $9,000 for vacuums and power scrubbers, again previously mentioned. The last picture you're going to see is back curtain 1 and 2. This is the back of my stage. Some time ago, about a 1.5 foot wide section was torn off. It was worn out. To close the back gate, we got to use a little clip. So it closes, and the picture shows that it really doesn't close it tight. Light still comes through the top of the curtain. Our entire system costs approximately about $12,000. I would just be happy with the back curtain. The condition of our cafeteria tables is in various levels of deterioration. Our seats will sometimes break, hurting children as they fall off of them. The formica's coming off the tables. Particle board that is in between is falling apart. Those replacement costs would be 32 tables at about $1,284 a piece for about $41,115. The same could be said about various work tables in the teachers' rooms. Small group instruction is held on those traditional kidney-shaped tables. Love to have about 72 of them to replace them at $396 would be about a little over $28,000. Again, in the area of technology, you've heard all the needs for computers. At my school, I would just like to have chargers and batteries for the 240 laptops we currently have. That would be at about $29,000 cost. To communicate with staff on the campus, we need to replace what I count about 4 different brands or styles of radios so that they all communicate clearly. I was just across the cafeteria with one of my staff trying to speak to her off the radio, and it could not be heard. Again, 2 different type radios, yes, same frequency, but at about $5,000, I can safely be able to communicate with staff on our campus. My total comes to about $172,000, not including the $4.7 million, but I do appreciate your support having us here today, and hopefully the campaign for a half cent for A+ schools will be successful. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.